You just heard a subject hailing the King of Ogbaland in powerful Igbo words. Ekwueme, the one who does what he says. Osisi Kanko, the tree that is greater than the palm. Enyikonwa, the elephant carrying its cub. But what if I told you these king's people claim to be of Benin origin? How come their greetings, his own title as a king, and every other thing surrounding the community sounds more Igbo than even echoes of Benin? Join me, let's unpack this mystery. Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Ngozi Fortune and I have spent over 5 years in Ogbaland. I lived in Obogu, a community in Egiland, all under Ogbaland. But today we are going to consider the culture and traditions of Ogba people and what makes them think they are not Igbo, even in the face of everything they do being Igbo. Their festival is called Nchaka or Eze-Ogba. Eze-Ogba. The word Egu is celebration, play, or things related to entertainment in Igbo land. So how come everything these people do is Igbo, but yet they claim not to be of Igbo origin? Let's unpack this mystery together. On our screen is the revered King of Ogbaland, His Eminence Nnam Obuoha, the Eze-Ogba of Ogbaland. In the footage you just watched, in the opening 30 seconds, one of his subjects dancing and singing praised him in core Igbo dialect, using words like Ekwueme, Osisi Kanku, Enyikonwa, Agu, Agabu. Then he ended by saying, Oba. Is it not contradictory? How does the word Agu correlate with Oba? And how did this mix-up come into play? When did this even start in the first place? In this rare footage, one of his subjects showers him praises in their own dialect of Igbo language, mentioning titles like Ekwueme, Osisi Kanku, Enyikonwa. These are not just words in Igbo language. They are cultural symbols of deep respect and royal heritage. When people use these words, it can only mean one thing, that they are of the royal heritage of the Igbo stock. But here is where it gets even more fascinating. Despite the Igbo language, the Igbo salutations, the Igbo titles, the Igbo food, these people claim to be of the Benin stock. So what is really going on here? Is it a case of cultural assimilation, a loss of migration history, a change of narrative, perhaps after or during the Nigerian Civil War? What is really the situation going on here? Or could it be, just like I have always posited, that the Igbo and Benin language are even more entangled than we can think of? Because the other time we read out over 20 different words that are similar both in pronunciation and meaning in the Benin and Igbo language. Now here is what I want us to take home as viewers and members of Enuani Cultural Forum, whose mission is to promote Igbo unity. I want us to ask ourselves these 3 salient questions. 1. Was the title Eze-Ogba always Igbo in nature? 2. Is it a case of an ancient Benin lineage adopting the Igbo way of life perhaps due to interaction and trade during their migration. And then finally, why is their festival not Igwe festival? Not any of the known festivals of the Benin people, but Eze-Ogba. Eze-Ogba. The word Egu in Igbo language, as we have discussed inter earlier, relates to entertainment, play, celebration. Stay tuned as we dive deeper into cultural accounts, historical connections, cultural origins of the Ogba people. In 2009, I was employed by Total E&P as a pipe welder at the OML 58 upgrade project, and I lived in Obogu, a nearby community to Obite. During my time in Obite, I discovered a very strong historical connection between the Igbo people and the Ogba people. Throughout my up to 5 year stay in this community, a lot of the indigents believed that I am an indigene of the community, but I grew up in Port Harcourt. None of them ever knew that I wasn't an indigene. It took me just 1 week or 3 weeks to master their own dialect of the Igbo language, and I switched to it. Although I wasn't perfect, but I could understand the language. I could greet them in the way they greeted each other, and I could do everything. In a gathering of Ogba people, if I am to greet them, I should be able to call the family lineage names like Agwolo, Ezimagi, and the rest of them. If you mention them and one of them is related to you, the person answers, and you greet the person Madi. And you greet the person Madi, the person answers by saying Mmai. You say you say Diada. You say Diada is if you are married. If you're not married, the person can say Okorobia. As an Igbo person, when I say these words, Diada, the husband of a young girl, Okorobia, young man, is if you're not married. All these are Igbo words. Their greeting, their salutation, their titles, their marital rights, their funeral rights, everything is Igboid. But how come these people lost their migration history or changed or even became assimilated? I want to really know from my audience if we have anyone from Ogbaland here, because I have examined books written by people from Ogbaland that discusses their migration history. It is important to note that while their ancestor who established Ogbaland named Akalaka claims to be of Benin origin, I make bold to say that he is from Idu, not Benin, because Benin is not all that ancient. What is ancient is an Idu, Igodomigodo, where you have Igbo speaking people till today, because we have Igbo speaking people in Ibanke, and all these are Anidu. Even parts of Ika in Abo are parts of Anidu. So, if somebody, for instance, migrated from Abo or Ibanke, these people will claim they are from Benin. How can a man named Akalaka be a Benin man? How can a man named Ezechima be a Benin man? If, for instance, the people are Benin, but their names are Igbo, how did they lose their cultural practices, their language, their culture, their food, their festivals, everything that made them Benin and became everything that makes us Igbo? This is one thing I want you to ponder. In case you enjoyed this story or you have critical questions to ask or points to point out, things that you feel I did not present the right way, kindly drop it in the comment section. In case you found this video very interesting, we have a lot of other more interesting videos and expositories by prominent Igbo people on our channel. Kindly take time to go through our channel and watch more interesting videos. Do have a very blessed day. Thank you.